Hi everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Aling Zhang, and today I am here with Eli Steele, documentary filmmaker, talking about his new project called I Am, or How Jack Became Black. What kind of got you into making this film, or how did it really start?
When my kids were born, I kind of realized, okay, you got a lot more mixed than I am than black and Jewish. The fourth thing is black and Jewish, white and Native American, and the mother is her mother is from Mexico. So you got all that blood in there. And I was wondering, well, how you identify yourself, because you do live in the world in America that really puts a lot of emphasis on identifying people by their race. And so I kind of wondered where my kid would fit into that. And then I just started noticing little things here and there. And that's when I saw the school application for the public elementary school.
For LAUSD, right?
For LAUSD, and it's then primary race, and then secondary race. And there's no multiracial or just two or more boxes. You would especially see, and this is the second largest school district in America, over 600,000 kids, and you have to pick a primary race. So which one that Jack fit into? Yeah, but that's why I had the title, because that's the chapter in that part of the film, is how he become black. And so then the whole rest of the film is sort of, and why are you doing this? What's the point of this? Yeah.
So did you see growing up the same issues of kind of having to identify yourself, even though your son is more mixed than you are, but even with your background?
I grew up in the Bay Area. My dad from Chicago, my mom from New York, and my dad is black, and my mom is Jewish, and there was no other family like ours in the Bay Area, and so I always felt the pressure, socially, to pick one race, but it never really came from the government. My parents just left it born blank, because back then it was they kind of knew that I would identify with all of who I am, as opposed to picking one race. Some people pick one race, but it was my path just to embrace all of who I am. And but when my kids were born, all of a sudden the government pressure was way up, and the social pressure is down. So it's almost the opposite. Like now, it's more socially accepted to say I am who I am, but now the government is almost saying pick one. So why is that happening? And this is another thing. Even if you check multiracial, or if you check two or more races, that would be reported. But behind the scenes, it's sort of a dirty secret that you may end up back in one of the primary race boxes. Black, Asian, white, Native American, Hispanic. And that's because there's a value to race, and so the government uses that to allocate resources, funding. But how true are these boxes? If we're taking people who say, I am this, and put them back into one of the five primary race boxes.
So, talking about race and having to identify yourself in a specific box, what are your thoughts on our current demographic and kind of the people that are with gender identity, with sexual orientation and all that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think America is in a very new and complex territory, and I don't claim to understand the whole situation fully, and I would be surprised if anybody really does. There's a lot of, that's what makes America great, that we have the freedom to identify the way we want. And so, I would not want anybody to impose their views on me and tell me I am this or that. And that's sort of why I'm resisting to the race boxes, because I know that the labels have a power to define you. They have a power to trap you into this, and you always have to work your way out of that. And if they know I am this, like they say, transgender or something, people could think of you in a certain way. And that person has to spend this time thinking, okay, well, maybe that's one part of my identity, that I am transgender, but I could be this, I could be that, I could be a Republican, I could be, that whole thing with Caitlyn Jenner, when they found out, okay, you're transgender, but you're Republican. And people had a hard time putting the two together, and well, why? I mean, she's her own person, she's her own, she's an individual, and I think that we need to move back toward, move just to look at people for who they are, and how people wish to identify should be their own, within their own domain.
So going to kind of the filmmaking process of that, how long did it take you to make this film?
It took a long time, it took 5 years. I did not know what I was doing in the beginning. I knew that there was something in the air about the multiracial issue. And what started me was, on this was, I read somewhere that by the year 2050, about 20 to 25% of all Americans will self-identify as two or more races. And for me, that was like, wow. That's more than the black population, that's more than the Asian population. I mean, that's like 1/4 of the American population. So how is that going to change race in America? And so I started off by interviewing multiracial, everywhere, like Milwaukee, New York, here, Bay Area. And then I kind of realized, okay, I have a lot of talking heads. Kind of a boring documentary, and I started to realize that the multiracial were divided into two very general camps. One, where they knew that they came from a mixed background, but identified as one race. Or they also, in that camp, they also admit, but saw the power of identity politics. In other words, they felt a loyalty to the darker side. That we stay, and then there were the others who said, screw all of that. I am all of who I am. I'm not going to allow society to define me. And so I said, well, why is there a line between these two people? And I realized that it was identity politics with that line. Whether you rebelled against identity politics or you embrace it. And so that's when the film became more about the multiracial identity and identity politics.
How do you feel like working on this and doing so much of the research and doing so much of talking to people, do you feel like it's changed any of your ideas, any of your kind of views on this subject?
Well, I think if you are, like, I joke with people that I was born a failure. I was born black, Jewish, white, Native American. I failed to fit into one of identity politics boxes. And my kids are even bigger, failures than me. And so that pushes you on the outside. So all my life, I have been wondering, okay, well, why was I born into this faith? And what does it mean? And why am I getting so much black? Or he's so special. So it was both ways. And there's nothing special. I mean, I'm just who I am, but the fact that I have a side of my family that survived the Holocaust, another side that went through slavery, but that was them. I'm who I am now, and what I do should be what defines me. And so I had that, and so that was always within me, that question of why. Maybe there's a reason I was born into this faith, and so this documentary, that was in an attempt to answer that question, and so that's what I really learned about this. The journey really led me to understand the forces that were at play in our society, and that was my goal with this documentary, was to define the forces, and hopefully start a dialogue around the forces. Are we in a trap? Are we trapping ourselves with these race boxes? Mm-hmm. And when are we ever going to move away from these boxes? Because you always see people say, we're not ready yet. But when are we going to be ready? When are we going to get there? And so those were all the questions I was trying to answer.
So in an ideal world or in an ideal situation, what do you think? Do you think that we should just not have even a race question, or what do you think is more ideal, I guess?
I don't really see that they have improved our society. I think these boxes have caused more harm because they keep the stigma of race alive. They have values associated with them, and those values are stereotypes and so forth. I think that we as a society rely on race too much. It's become a crutch. I think that if we were to look at other variables and be much more honest and open up the dialogue to include everything, because right now the dialogue would be like, okay, let's talk about Chicago, black on black crime. Let's focus on that. Well, but there are many other variables in there, and the other people say, no, Chicago is irrelevant. We need to focus on this. So in other words, the conversation, according to each person's agenda, becomes very narrow. Mm-hmm. And I think that really hurts us as the society. We seem incapable of really putting all the shit on the table and just being open and honest with each other about, okay, you know what, this problem really is because there's a large population of single-parent households. In other words, there are a lot more other variables other than race that give us a better picture of what's going on. This is really a lot has to do with poverty, because if you put white, black, Hispanic families in the same area, they're going to have more problems in common. So it's not really across racial lines, it's more about where they're located and the economic status.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely something that I think is really relevant for what's going on right now for our current political and social climate, and something that's very, very a conversation that is very necessary, especially in this country. We talked earlier about how, in the United States, we don't have a native race aside from Native Americans, people that were actually of this region. We all immigrated here. We all came here, and so it's harder to define who we are. And immigrants meet other immigrants from other countries, and even Caucasians are not from one country.
Exactly.
They're not. So it's very interesting to bring to light a lot of this.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, I mean, we never get to solve that problem of the past. I mean, you cannot fix what happened in the past. Yes, my people were slaves. Yes, my grandparents survived the Holocaust and they came to America. They are immigrants. And my kids, Nana, came from Mexico. So we got all these stories in our family, and the past is just what it is, and you can learn from it. My grandmother from Ohio was the daughter of the Revolution, and she married the son of a slave in 1944. That was not an easy thing to do, but she chose to marry the man that she loved, and she paid the price for that. But that value was much higher than what the past was. She was not trying to redeem America. She was not trying to do anything. But in her ways, she made America a better place by choosing the higher value thing with my own parent. My mother was the daughter of Jewish immigrant Holocaust survivors. Her value was to marry Jewish, bring that race back, bring the Jews, because we lost 6 million Jews. And that's what America has been doing a lot lately. I think that's why Americans are starting to really understand that these categories don't matter that much. That whoever you meet, whoever you fall in love with, it doesn't really matter what color they are.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool, especially your kids have such an amazing background and history of their family, of their ancestors, and so many stories, and those are all stories of America. Like, that to me is very much a true American. Not like none of us are not true Americans, but a very true American story of the blending of our history and of our cultures.
Exactly.
And I think because of that, it makes them much more sensitive and much more empathetic and much more understanding of these various histories and the difficulties coming from that. You know, the sensitivities of the various backgrounds, the various races, ethnicities, histories. I think that's what we all need in this country is that sensitivity, is that understanding. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I want to thank our wonderful guest today, Mr. Eli Steele. If you guys want to check out the documentary, just go on to the website. It is going to be right down here. iamdocfilm.com. And also, it will have all the links down below for you guys.
I encourage you to check out the film. What makes it unique is that it's especially race in America from the perspective of a multiracial. And that perspective is only get bigger and bigger as the population grows. So I encourage you to check it out.
So everyone, I Am, or How Jack Became Black, will be out on February 21st. Don't forget to check it out, and thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Aling, and you guys are watching B3 TV. Thank you so much. Bye.